So I'm supposed to review a story this week, but there's one problem with that, which is that when I'm at school, I have absolutely no free time for reading whatsoever. So a lot of my favorite books, I haven't read them in years and years and years. So that's the first problem. The second problem is, how do I choose? I like a lot of books. Do I do A Song of Ice and Fire? The Princess Bride? How about Merchant of Venice? Machine of Death? How about The Sound and the Fury? Okay, actually, I can't do The Sound and the Fury because if I tell you guys why I like this book, you'll probably judge me. Slaughterhouse-Five? Okay, so Slaughterhouse-Five is still one of my favorite books, so I guess I'll do this. I can't exactly remember everything about the plot, though. It's been so long. Actually, I don't even know if it has a plot. It's something about war, and there's weird time travel stuff, and also there are aliens, and the aliens are called the Tralfa... Tralfamadorians. Okay, so there's aliens called the Tralfamadorians. I got it down now. Main character is Billy Pilgrim. You know, aliens. I think he ends up in a zoo at some point. There's weird time travel stuff. It's kind of a commentary and a critique of war. I love Kurt Vonnegut. He's very opinionated, and I agree with most of his opinions, particularly the way he phrases them. So the Tralfamadorians have this phrase that they say whenever anybody dies, which is, "so it goes," which seems a little bit harsh at first, but then you realize that the Tralfamadorians can perceive the fourth dimension time at the same time as the other three. So somebody dies, but they can still see this person's entire life trail spread out before them. Instead of giving you a plot summary or telling you why you should love this book, I am just going to read you a passage from this book. It's still stuck with me to this day. Billy looked at the clock on the gas stove. He had an hour to kill before the saucer came. He went into the living room, swinging the bottle like a dinner bell. Turned on the television. He came slightly unstuck in time, saw the movie backwards, then forwards again. It was a movie about American bombers in the Second World War and the gallant men who flew them. Seen backwards by Billy, the story went like this. American planes full of holes and wounded men and corpses took off backward from an airfield in England. Over France, a few German fighter planes flew at them backwards, sucked bullets and shell fragments from some of the planes and crewmen. They did the same for wrecked American bombers on the ground, and those planes flew up backwards to join the formation. The formation flew backwards over a German city that was in flames. The bombers opened their bomb bay doors, exerted a miraculous magnetism which shrunk the fires, gathered them into cylindrical steel containers, and lifted the containers into the bellies of the planes. The containers were stored neatly in racks. The Germans below had miraculous devices of their own, which were long steel tubes. They used them to suck more fragments from the crewmen and planes. But there were still a few wounded Americans, though, and some of the bombers were in bad repair. Over France, though, German fighters came up again, made everything and everybody as good as new. When the bombers got back to their base, the steel cylinders were taken from the racks and shipped back to the United States of America, where factories were operating night and day, dismantling the cylinders, separating the dangerous contents into minerals. Touchingly, it was mainly women who did this work. The minerals were then shipped to specialists in remote areas. It was their business to put them into the ground, to hide them cleverly, so they would never hurt anybody ever again. The American flyers turned in their uniforms, became high school kids, and Hitler turned into a baby, Billy Pilgrim supposed. That wasn't in the movie. Billy was extrapolating. Everybody turned into a baby, and all humanity, without exception, conspired biologically to produce two perfect people named Adam and Eve, he supposed. So yes, there it is. Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. You should read it. Now I have to go put these all back on my bookshelf.